Hi Year 1, so for today's maths lesson we are starting again with a flashback 4, and first of all we need to work out which number is represented by the 10 frames, and then we have got our 4 questions here. First one says there are 10 flowers in each bunch. How many flowers are there altogether? So for this you need to count in your multiples of 10 to work out the total. Question 2 says the bowl is, and then you need to decide if the bowl is full or empty. For question 3, it says the tree is something than the house. So you need to decide, is the tree taller or shorter than the house? And for question 4, it says find the total of 4 and 7. So that means you need to add 4 and 7 together. Okay, if you pause the video now to give yourself a chance to answer the questions, I'm now going to go through the answers. So looking at the 10 frames, we've got one complete 10 frame here, so that represents 10, and we've got another complete one which represents another 10. So in total, we've got 2 lots of 10, which is 20. So here we've got our 10 flowers in each bunch, and we're going to count in multiples of 10 to work out the total. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And for question 2, we can see that the bowl is empty. Question 3, we can see that the tree is taller than the house. And for question 4, find the total of 4 and 7. We're adding the 2 numbers together, so I'm going to put 7 in my head because that's the bigger number. I'm going to count forwards 4 on my fingers. So 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Today's maths lesson, we are focusing on making equal groups by sharing. So we're starting off with a quick anchor. So it says true or false, there are 4 groups of 5 pencils. So if we have a look here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. But if we have a look, we haven't got 5 pencils in each group. We've only got 3. So we know that this is false because there are 4 groups of 3 pencils, not 5. So we are focusing on sharing today, and when we are sharing, we need to make sure that we share fairly or equally. So if we're sharing objects out, there should be the same number of objects in each group. So with this example, we are starting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sweets, and we are going to share them between 3 groups. So we have got 6 sweets altogether. And we're going to share them out one group at a time. Okay, so each group has got 2 sweets. So 6, because we started with 6, shared equally between 1, 2, 3 groups is 2, because we've just count how many we've got in one group. to find the final answer. This time we are sharing some sweets into 4 equal groups. So we need to work out how many sweets we're starting off with. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've got 12 sweets all together. And we are sharing them into 4 equal groups. So again, I need to make sure that I am doing it equally. Okay, and I can see that each group has got the same number of sweets in, so it's fair. So each group has 1, 2, 3 sweets. So 12 shared equally between 4, because we've got 4 groups, is 3. Because we've only got 3 sweets in one group. So this time we're sharing some donuts into 3 equal groups. Now I've got quite a lot of donuts here. I could draw 3 groups and share them out fairly in the way that we were doing in the last 2 examples, but because I've got a lot more, there's an easier way of sharing them out. The first thing I need to do before I start sharing them is to count how many I've got all together. But when they're arranged in an array like this, it makes it a lot easier to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I've got 24 donuts all together. And if I have a look at how the donuts are arranged, I've got 3 rows going across. And I know in an array, there is the same number of objects in each row. So I can use my rows to help me share them into groups, because I've got 3 rows and I'm looking to make 3 equal groups. So I'm just going to group them like this. So 24 shared equally between 3 is, so let's count how many we've got in one group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This time I've got my 24 donuts again. But instead of sharing them between 3, this time I'm sharing them between 8 groups. So if I look at my columns this time, I've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns. So I can use my columns to help me group them. So 1 group, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So 24 shared equally between 8 is, so how many have I got in one group? 1, 2, 3. So here there's a practice question for you to try. And as always, there's the White Rose website with the supporting video. And then there are some silver, gold, and platinum questions for you to try.